Hey, welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. It's Thursday and I have another project for you. This is a project I shared with demonstrators. And do you ever have those cards that you just fall in love with? The colors, the design. This card is for me. I just love this one. So I'm anxious to share it with you today. All right, I am using our Secret Sea cardstock, some Mossy Meadow, and the Delicate Dreams designer series paper for this project. Love this paper. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. All right. So my card base is 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 2 and 5 1/4. And I also scored it at 1. All right. So when you burnish it, we're going to burnish the 5 1/4 is going to go that way. Then we're going to do valley for the 2 inch and mountain for the 1 inch. When Secret Sea came out, I thought, I don't think I'm going to use it that much. Boy, I'm finding I use it a lot. First thing we're going to do is glue some of the the designer series paper down. I love this. This reminds me of counted cross stitch fabric. And I don't know why, but it does. And I used to do counted cross stitch when my hands were better. We're going to put the first strip, it's 3/4 of an inch here. All right. And then we've got one bigger piece here. We're going to put it in the middle. I know it's sad to cover up those pretty flowers, isn't it? That's the only bad thing. When you get a paper that is just stunning on both sides, you always have to cover up one side. That's always so sad. All right. There we go. All right. Make sure it stands up nice. Okay. Now this piece here, we're actually going to put over the top, so it's our side step. But I want to finish the pieces before we glue it on. So I've got this piece of paper here. The strip is 8.5 by 3. All right, there we go. Isn't that gorgeous paper? Love it. All right, so for our stamping, I'm using the Forever Florals stamp set. I'm going to use You're on My Mind and In My Heart, and I'm going to have fun showing you how to stamp these leaves and flowers. All right. So I just got blue ink on my finger. Now people can tell I'm stamping. The other day I went to the chiropractor and my fingers were all blue. And at first I think she thought I wasn't getting good blood flow to my fingers. She was very relieved to hear that I'd been stamping. So I said, yeah, I promise I'm good. I don't really like how that turned out. We're going to try again. I didn't get the bottom of my M's like I wanted. There we go. That's going to look better. Yep, that one looks better. All right. So on this piece, I want to do, we have You're on My Mind and In My Heart. I'm going to stamp those in the Secret Sea. Then let me show you how to do these leaves. I think this is so pretty. All right. So I want my leaves to be, looking for a piece of scrap paper here. The filling, I don't want it as dark. So I'm going to stamp off once and then stamp my leaves. Then for the lines or the veins on my leaves, I'm going to go direct like that. Then we have these cute little blue flowers. And I'll tell you, they put the stems pretty close together, so you kind of have to do your flowers very carefully so they'll all fit on there. Isn't that cute? Ah, I tell you, when I took these flowers, I had to travel with it. I was so worried I was going to lose the little flower because it's so tiny, but I didn't. It's very, very thankful. All right. Oh, while I had that out, I should have done my envelope. Let's open this one up. You always want your envelope to match your paper. So again, I'm going to stamp my leaves, piece of scratch paper, and on my envelope, then do the lines or the veins, and then my 3 little flowers. I have to admit, when I first got the Forever Florals, wasn't too sure about it, but I will say I've had a lot of fun playing with it recently. So it's a fun set. The script, I think, is really pretty. If you like really flowing words, this set is a beautiful set to use for that. All right, we're going to flip this over. This is going to be actually on the back of the card, but this is going to be the spot where you can write your message to a person. The thing I like about this card is it's great to give to someone that likes to maybe display your cards. Do you have any people like that? Um, this stands up so that they can stand it up and be encouraged um, long after you've given them the card. All right, so I'm going to put some adhesive right in this area. And what I want to do is I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to lay it here, then I'm going to stand it up because I want to make sure both pieces are flush because I want it to stand nicely. So see, I've got it right like that, and then I'm standing it up so that I know both pieces are right on the table. Okay, I'm going to close this up. We're going to do the same thing on the back. We're going to put some adhesive here, and then we're going to close it up and make sure that it lines up evenly. If you don't have it lined up evenly like that, it's not going to stand up nicely, and you want to make sure it stands up nicely. All right, so I've got my crumb cake here. Here's my Mossy Meadow mask to go over it. If you like this card design and you would like to have the written instructions, place an order with me and I will shoot those directions your way. Otherwise, you're welcome to watch the video. You can get all the information here. I know some people like to have written instructions. So place that $30 order and I will send it on its way. All right, so there we go. And I'm going to do a little ribbon here. Do you use the linen thread? I use mine all the time. It adds just a little something, but it's not big fat ribbon that takes up a lot of your space and your vision when you're looking at a card. I like the linen thread. It just adds just a little something to a card. All right, snip that off and use a glue dot. Looks like my dimensionals got caught on my glue dots, didn't they? Whoops. All right. Hope you like this project. I guess it's probably the colors more than anything. I just love the colors in this one. And especially if you are wanting to do a masculine card, if you use this back here, there's also some checked paper in there that I think would work really well for men. So it stands up like that. Isn't that gorgeous? And then I've got my envelope to go with it. Hope you like this project. I love sharing my projects with you. And once summer hits, I'm going to try to do some lives instead of videos. But as long as I'm at school and working games, it's just really hard to get a live caught. Live into my schedule, so videos work. Hope you like the project. Can't wait to share something with you next week. See you then.